World, welcome to Send It Rising Live. So much rebranding, so much Kellen Kautzman. That happens to be my name. The main story on the day today is that Facebook coming out, it's Meta. All right, I can't do it. It's Facebook. Is it going to be meta.com? I don't understand. So, an update on our use of facial recognition. So, the VP of Artificial Intelligence for Facebook, I'm calling them Facebook, is basically saying, hey, look, we're shutting it down. Big story. Very interesting that they're going down that path. Can you trust Dr. Google? Data scientists say search engines are giving bad health advice. I am not surprised at all by that. Greenwashing on Facebook, how the world's biggest polluters are using social media to obfuscate climate change or their impact on climate change. It only makes sense that they would do that. A lot of people making a lot of money, making bad decisions. Facebook learns there's another company named Meta already, and Meta PC is not going to sell the name for less than 20 million. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you just happen to name your company Meta, and all of a sudden Facebook's like, we're Meta, and you're like, no, you're not. That's so funny. Pinterest announces Pinterest TV and shoppable live stream series, and YouTube shares new Shorts report. I'm not sure if you're into YouTube Shorts or not, but we're going to talk about all of that today on the show. Thank you for swinging on by. Join us live, youtube.com/Send It Rising, if you want to ask me any questions live in chat. So, what is the deal here? We're shutting down facial recognition, according to about.fb.com. People who've opted in will no longer be automatically recognized in photos and videos, and we will delete more than 1 billion people's individual facial recognition templates. This change is also going to impact automatic alt text, which creates image descriptions for blind and visually impaired people. After this change, AAT descriptions will no longer include the names of people recognized in photos, but will function normally otherwise. And finally, we need to weigh the positive use cases for facial recognition against growing societal concerns, especially as regulators have yet to provide clear rules. So, I don't think facial recognition is going anywhere. I think we're going to continue down this technological road. It is very interesting that Facebook is capitulating to these sorts of demands from society, from lawmakers. Basically, as far as I can tell, Facebook's making so much money, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I think they're going, you know what, we're so dominant that we're just going to, get rid of some of the things that we don't think are the end of the world if we get rid of them. Now, facial recognition allows Facebook to do a lot of neat and interesting things, allows people to tag in photos, auto tag, all that sort of stuff. I'm sure it helps with advertising because they can see that this photo includes this person and this person is part of that person's network, and they both like sriracha on their burritos. And so they use that information to, serve ads. And so, are they going to take a hit of some sort in their ability to serve good ads to people on the platform? Probably not. But I don't know. The writing's on the wall. I mean, if you're a lawmaker and you look at Facebook going, you know what? Fine. We're going to get rid of facial recognition. You may go, great. We can influence this company. It's going to take time, but we can absolutely do it. So, according to the article, looking ahead, this is from Facebook. We still see facial recognition technology as a powerful tool, for example, for people needing to verify their identity or to prevent fraud and impersonation. We believe facial recognition can help for products like these with privacy, transparency, and control, blah, blah, blah. So they're not done with it. I see it coming back. I think this is a temporary issue. But we will see just how long it takes for that to occur. But in the meantime, Facebook shutting down facial recognition. Fastcompany.com. Can you trust Dr. Google? Data scientists say search engines are giving bad health advice. Have you gone down the WebMD rabbit hole? Are you like me, where you start looking at, WebMD, and before you know it, you're like, I got cancer, I'm going to die. We're all going to die. You start freaking out. Well, you wouldn't be alone. A lot of people, pre-internet, I don't know, they just go to the doctor. And yeah, maybe they would ruminate on it, but you couldn't do the endless searching black hole of, your own mortality on the internet machine. Google in particular. And so this particular article is saying, yeah, if you're asking high stakes questions about your health, it can be problematic, according to new research. So yeah, so a search algorithm, some say, shows signs of wear. ProPublica reporter Jesse Eisinger recently tweeted he thinks Google searches have gotten, quote, significantly worse. A new study out this week looks at this from a different angle, the role of search engines as people go to health advisors. Data scientists from Germany's Martin Luther University of Halle-Wittenberg and Russia's Ural Federal University wanted to see how search engines are managing medical misinformation. Given the myths that have circulated since the start of the pandemic, the authors argue it's more important than ever to promote accurate and credible online health resources. So before we dive totally into that, let me just say that Google is rewarding pages that have the most links, pages where people spend the most time, and essentially, they're looking at all the metrics. Do people come back to this page? And so if someone searches cancer cure, they may rank that in the top 3 simply because people love that page. Now, if that page is about, I don't know, putting lemons in your eyes, and people are into it, well, then clearly we have a problem. So it's not necessarily that the information is correct. It's that it's popular. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same problem we have with democracy. I mean, we can have leaders that, make terrible decisions, and they're only there because they are popular. Democracy is a popularity contest at the end of the day. I'm not saying I have a better solution for society. What I'm saying is that we're still working on social currency, which again is why TikTok is exploding, why social media is such a big deal, because ultimately we're just referring each other business, and a vote is just a referral, as far as I'm concerned. And so when it comes to your medical advice, there are some issues here. So the researchers studied the results to health-related queries they searched for in Google and Russian counterpart Yandex. They claim both sites' top results often included bad health advice. To get these findings, they waded through 1.5 billion Yandex searches to identify the 30 most common queries that contained both a medical problem and some sort of alternative treatment. So like garlic to treat toothache, ginger to cure a cough, etc. So these queries plugged into Yandex, authors examined them, we get it. And essentially, what we end up with is a quote here from Alexander Bondarenko. Quote, we also annotated whether the snippets contained warnings about the potential health risks of using one or another alternative medicine, since some researchers would just use them at home. So here are the findings. Half the Yandex snippets confirmed some kind of medical misbelief, and only 13% noted that the treatments are linked to health risks. Google snippets weren't as pronounced, but they were, quote, still worrisome since we found evidence of potential health risks for all questions in the study. Yuggy. So Google mentions that there are flaws in their research, so they're aware of this. I mean, how do you solve this problem? You know what I mean? I mean, how does Google come in and have some sort of wide-ranging medical expertise on everything medically related? They can't, and they won't, until AI gets to the point where it's able to discern medical information versus medical, I don't know, crap. So this is going to be one of those problems that, it's just user error, like if we're going to Google and we're linking to these pages that say, you should use this particular, I don't know, home remedy for this thing. It's up to the individual to do better research. And at the end of it, and stop linking to things that are wrong. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to do. Stop linking to pages that are spreading misinformation. Facebook gets lambasted for this all of the time. Google rarely does. So it's interesting to see them receiving some criticism from Fast Company, because ultimately it is it could be apocalyptically bad for an individual to use one of these remedies, especially when it comes to cancer, heart disease, etc., when the medical community clearly knows a few things that are not present in these particular articles. So as a listener, I already know that you're making good medical decisions. So I don't have to tell you. I'm talking to those other people that don't understand that, they're not doctors, and perhaps they should get someone who spent many years to help them at least make a decision regarding their health. Greenwashing on Facebook. This from time.com. How the world's biggest polluters use social media to obfuscate on climate change. So Darren Woods testified at Congress last week. ExxonMobil CEO stated that the company, quote, does not spread disinformation regarding climate change. Speaking under oath before a House Oversight Committee grilling oil and gas majors about whether or not they use disinformation to forestall climate action over multiple decades, Wood said that ExxonMobil, quote, are and have always been truthful, fact-based, and consistent. However, there is data analyzed by ecobot.net, an AI system which reveals the hidden ecosystems of climate change disinformation on social media, less than a week before Woods was under oath, denying ExxonMobil's involvement in climate disinformation. The article continues. The company was running a Facebook ad campaign featuring misleading information on climate change. So what exactly is going on here? So we're looking at a Facebook post paid for by ExxonMobil. It says, if your household was forced to go full electric, it could cost you more than $25,600 to replace major appliances. That is so interesting to me. That is so interesting to me. They're like, look, how about you like your gas stove? This is what it's come down to. You like your gas stove. You don't want an electric appliance. It's going to cost you a bunch of money. And so, did you know it would be really expensive for you to go all electric? That is so funny to me. So there, I mean, to me, that is a company that is really trying, really reaching its straws, really reaching its straws. And I've seen this too. Like as I've been watching TV, I see Exxon always talking about how green they are and blah blah blah. Another ad says ExxonMobil is the industry leader in carbon capture and storage, developing innovative solutions needed to help achieve a lower carbon future. Okay. Are they though? So so again, EcoBot released something about the 16 of the world's most polluting companies. And they paid for some 1,700 climate misinformation ads. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. According to Jeffrey Suprin, last Thursday, the CEOs of ExxonMobil and other fossil fuel companies lied under oath to Congress. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't blame Exxon because here's the other thing too. You got to understand that there's a lot of people that aren't the CEO of Exxon. Oh, hey, thanks, Gamer King 4242 for watching on Twitch and YouTube. I appreciate that. Leave a comment if you want to join us live. Like Gamer King 4242 is currently doing youtube.com/Send It Rising 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Y'all know the drill. Leave a comment. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy, and I will read your comment live, unless it's I don't know, a horrifying miscarriage of justice. But anyway, look, Exxon is much more than just the CEO with his golden parachute and his mansions and blah, blah, blah. Exxon is also thousands and thousands of employees. Many of them are just trying to feed their kids. So it goes far beyond just, Exxon evil. Do I like my gas stove? Of course I do. Do I like driving from point A to point B? Of course I do. So I'm not saying that I'm going to go live like a completely gas-free experience immediately. That's not happening. I did get solar panels on my house. Thank you very much. I would love to buy an electric car. It's cool. And for those that say, we've already hit the precipice, we're all going to die, well, then I guess we've already hit the precipice. Should we do everything in our power to reduce carbon emissions? Absolutely. I get the marketing department at Exxon. I understand. I bet half the people listening to this call would say, I would never do that. But these people wake up as, the marketing department at Exxon, and these are the things they're coming up with. I mean, again, if your ad campaign is saying, hey, you don't want to replace your gas oven, do you? Oof. I mean, you are really stretching. You're stretching to try to make this work. So look, ultimately, I'm hopeful. I know this rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I'm just hopeful about humanity. I believe carbon capture technology, solar, wind, etc., it's going to make it in time. That's what I believe. I know there was a study that came out not too long ago that said, no, we're all going to die. But I'm not giving up quite yet. Thank you very much. And so ultimately, invest in solar company. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to buy some stocks, buy green stocks. Get solar panels on your house. If you're big into Tesla, buy Tesla. There are things that you can do. Work from home. That's the other one too. I've been talking about this forever. If you're an employer and you're forcing your staff to go to an office just because that's how you like it, well, then maybe you should seriously consider why you feel that way. Let people work from home. I mean, less gas, less stress, less car accidents. I mean, it's just infinitely better. If we have Zoom, just Zoom. It's fine. Work from home. The work from home revolution is going to save a massive amount of gas. And all the meetings. People used to be driving to meetings left, right, up, down, all over town. Hey, you want to grab coffee? Happened all the time. Those meetings, by and large, are not happening anymore. Speed networking online is a big deal. So anyway, there you go. ExxonMobil. Greenwashing. Have you heard that word before? Facebook Learning, there's another company named Meta already, IGN.com. This is hilarious to me. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Facebook rebranded as Meta, as we all know. According to TMZ, another company already filed the trademark to the word Meta back in August. This company is Meta PC, and it sells computers, laptops, tablets, and software. Founders Joe Darger and Zach Schutt said that they've been operating Meta PC for a little over a year now, but only recently filed the trademark for the Meta brand. Ooh. Oh, okay. So the Meta PC's trademark hasn't been granted yet. So whether the company gets it instead of Facebook is still up in the air. Oh my goodness. They want $20 million. They want $20 million. That is so funny to me. It just goes to show that money is completely and entirely invented. It's just invented. You know what I mean? I know someone who made $1 million in crypto off of a very small investment not too long ago. It's imaginary. It's all monopoly money at the end of the day. You can say, I got in at the right time, but it's just the randomness of capitalism sometimes. Just goes to show that, it's like you can say it's hard work, but sometimes it's just, there is luck involved in these things. So if they make $20 million because they just happen to name their company that, it just goes to show that it's not necessarily intelligence that makes you rich. Pinterest announces Pinterest TV and hard work, I should mention. Shoppable live stream series. Pinterest is looking to lean into the rising live stream commerce trend, according to Social Media Today, which has already gained huge traction in China with its own series of live shopping events via a new initiative called Pinterest TV. It's going to be there with live episodes weekdays at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern, starting November 8th. That's incredible. Pinterest explains, today we're announcing Pinterest TV, a series of live, original, and shoppable episodes featuring creators right on Pinterest. Pinterest TV episodes are refreshed each weekday and will be recorded and available for pinners to view on demand and save and rewatch later. Incredible. Oh man, this is big. Pinterest is the second largest referrer of traffic, which means a lot of people click out of Pinterest to go to products, to go to different pages. It's the second behind Facebook. Is the first. And so, yeah, Pinterest announcing Pinterest TV is a pretty big deal. It just goes to show that if you get an audience, the world is your oyster. Welcome to 2021. If you got a lot of people listening to you, you got a platform that people go to, you can monetize and you can do incredible things. So go to where the people are, which is why I mention TikTok all the time, because it's a great way to grow an audience. Anyway, Pinterest TV, if you've never heard about it. Finally, YouTube shares new shorts report to highlight key content trends and tips. I don't know if you're big into YouTube shorts. I tried. I gave it a run. It doesn't seem to be picking up steam. One of the things that annoyed me about it was that the shorts appear in your video feed. Like, I want them in a completely separate area. Like, I don't want these 30-second, 60-second videos to be clogging up my video kind of like gallery area in YouTube. I didn't like that very much, but it's just TikTok. If you go to YouTube Shorts, you're literally just in TikTok, so it's not that serious. But for some people, like famous people, Will Smith, they're going to get hundreds of thousands of views wherever they post, and so they may as well post there as well. But I don't know. I wasn't impressed. Perhaps I'm missing the mark on that. I thought it would be cooler than it actually is. I'm more obsessed with TikTok, clearly. Let's recap. Facebook shutting down facial recognition. They will capitulate. Politicians, beware. Or not beware. Celebrate, perhaps? I don't know. Depends on where you fall on this whole thing. But just goes to show that Facebook will change their behavior with enough pressure. Can you trust Dr. Google? Data scientists say search engines are giving bad health advice. Well, clearly they are, because again, it's a popularity contest. Be a smart consumer of information, folks. Research. Greenwashing on Facebook. Yep, of course, ExxonMobil is doing everything they can to get you to continue to use natural gas. That's how they make their money. Facebook learns there's another company named Meta. It's just too perfect. Pinterest announcing Pinterest TV. Very cool. And finally, YouTube sharing new shorts report. So basically, they're just trying to get people to use the platform. YouTube is not as cool as TikTok. That's just the nature of it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for swinging by the show today. I appreciate it. If you want to join us, youtube.com/SendItRising for Send It Rising Live. I'd love to see comments, so please do leave a comment. If you're listening on iTunes and Spotify or any of the other podcast platforms that we are currently on, oh yes, I see the numbers. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you so much for downloading the episodes. If you want to support the show, download a bunch of episodes. I can see every time the show gets downloaded. Got all those metrics. And, we're a small show. We're a small little community. So thank you for being a part of it. We'll see you all next time. Bye for now.